Hi guys, welcome back to Dream Daddy on Otome Tuesday. So I'm right here, right where I left off, on Dad Book, and I get to choose who I want to go on a date with. I've noticed the internet really loves Robert a lot. He seems to be like the favorite dad, and they also really love Craig, I think just because he's so hot and like his kids are so cute. I don't know. As of right now, my personal favorites are Matt and Damien. And on my last video, I had a few people still saying I should go after Matt, and then I had a few more saying I should go after Damien because apparently his route's really funny. So yeah, I'm not totally sure yet. Let's read some profiles. Cardio session. A sub 6 minute mile. Have I peaked? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get the appeal of Craig. He seems pretty one-dimensional to me, like he's just all about, like, exercise and working out. But again, he is really hot, and his kids are really cute. Matt Silla, that's an interesting last name. Avid music enthusiast, passionate coffee drinker. You can find me most days selling bean juice. Ew, that is gross. I don't like calling coffee bean juice. Over at the Coffee Spoon or hanging out at the park with my amazing daughter. Hit me up about 80s no-wave music. So I guess he's kind of like a music dork, which you can kind of gather from his introduction. What are your turn-ons? Multi-instrumentalism. What did you want to be when you grew up? A barista, weirdly enough. What's your favorite movie genre? Shit with subtitles. Yeah, I feel that. What's your ideal date? We go to the animal shelter and seriously consider adopting a cat. Oh! Okay, maybe I do love this guy. What do you ever leave home without? Never leave home without my headphones. In-ear and over-ear, just in case. I spend a lot of time thinking about where did writing commas into songs and titles come from, and where did it go? Did we all just agree that it's a bad idea? Huh. Very interesting guy. I'm not really interested in Joseph at all, not just because he's like, you know, super straight-laced and already married and stuff, but also just because his kids are really creepy. Hugo's fine. He's hot, and I like his man bun, and I like that he seems kind of nerdy and into, like, reading and art and stuff. I can appreciate that. But he also seems a little boring to me, in all fairness. Brian, I was, like, excited that they included a chubby bear dad, but I'm kind of disappointed that his whole personality just seems to be, like, dad stereotypes and competing with you. Although his daughter's really cute. I love her. Alright, Damien. How'd you do? I have finally decided to join the information superhighway. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I will try my best to understand. I love long strolls through a graveyard and spending time with my son. If you would ever like to chat about the latest Victorian fashion, the inevitability of our own demise, or black cats, please send me a letter. Okay, this guy sounds like me. On a Friday night, you're most likely to listen to true crime podcasts while I taxidermy my newest specimens. Oh my god, this guy is me! Holy crap! I do taxidermy and I listen to, like, true crime podcasts and shows and stuff all the time. If you had one thing to take with you to a desert island, what would it be? A coffin. Alright. I guess you could use that as a boat. What are your turn-ons? Pronouncing bosom correctly. What did you want to be when you grew up? A bat. What's your favorite movie genre? Foreign art house horror. What's your ideal date? It's night. We are at an industrial darkwave club in Berlin. The music drums to the beat of our hearts. Wow, that actually sounds kind of hot. Why do you never leave home without an upside-down cross? A lot of people think that's satanic, but it's actually not. I spend a lot of time thinking about mortality salience. Hell yeah. Okay. Well, you know, I could always date both of them. That's something I've heard, is that you can like go on multiple dates, like I think up to 2 dates with each dad, and then once you go on like the 3rd date, that's when you're like locked in and you become exclusive. I don't think this is like other dating sims where like, you know, the other characters will get jealous if you're like dating the, you know, other people or whatever. So I think I'm gonna go on a date with Damien just because I'm like so fascinated by him. Yeah, and maybe in the next episode I'll do a date with Matt or whatever. I mean, let's live a little, you know? That's what being on dad book's all about. Being a hot dad, single, ready to mingle with your hot goth neighbor. Damien seemed really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him to get to know him a little better. I navigate to Damien's dad book page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. I sit there for a minute before I see Damien's typing. But then he keeps typing. And typing. I've lived through this. Man, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some coffee. And he's still typing. I sip my coffee and the computer finally dings. Lee, I must confess, my excitement to be receiving your kind letter, for, as you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask for your forgiveness, however, as I believe our first meeting did not paint me in a gentlemanly manner, as I would have liked. Oh, whoa, there's more. I would be highly flattered to enjoy your companionship at my residence for an afternoon tea and a stroll around my garden, should it please you. Till then, adieu. Yours, humbled, D. Bloodmarch. I stare at the screen and reread the letter several more times. Hey, Amanda! Amanda pops out of her room, her eyes a little puffy, almost as if she's been crying. Oh no! My babu, what's the matter? Hey, are you alright? Oh yeah, totally, I'm cool. I just found out that the succulent I've been watering and singing to for the last 3 months was actually made out of plastic. Even the dirt was fake. Oh, honey. Are you sure that's all you're upset about? If there's, you know, anything going on, I just want you to know that I'm here for you and I'll always be here for you. Whether you need a shoulder to cry on or a strong dad to go kick someone's butt, I'm only a phone call away. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. But I'm fine, really. I'm unconvinced, but I'll stop badgering her about it. I'm sure she'll tell me when she's ready. Can you help me with something? Dad, for the last time, I'm not popping your back pimples. Ew. No, can you interpret this for me? I turn the computer to Amanda and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other now? Oh, totally. This is the hot new thing. See, Dad, kids got over saying lol and the LMAO or whatever and decided that what they needed to do is bring it back to the 1800s. So what do I do? Where's your pen and quill? What? Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? Dad, how will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming debutante ball? Okay, now I know you're messing with me. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of our land. Or our dowry. Or... So you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time and now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Like, the first 5 pages, then I read a review of the movie. It's still gotta be, though. Great, so what do I say to Damien? I got this. Amanda reaches over and types on the keyboard. Sure thing, dude. Regards, Lee. Amanda hits send and smiles at me. Well, I suppose that's that. Oh man, this house is so cool. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor, estate. The Gothic architecture looms above the other homes in the cul-de-sac. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door, and I look around for a doorbell. There doesn't seem to be one. I pull the large, ornately carved bat's head door knocker back, and hollow sound echoes throughout the house as I strike it against the door. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, noting the oil portraits of who I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. Whoa. Oh, this place is so cool. This is like how I want my house to look. As I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Hello? Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring straight at me? Why is it so cold in here? Where's Damien? Lee, pleasure to have you in my home. I look up and see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. That's, what's with the door slamming shut? Oh, sorry, that was a draft. And the door creaking open when I knocked? I accidentally left the door unlocked. And the creepy oil paintings? I like oil paintings. Right. Right. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Please, let me show you around. Okay. Damien leads me around the house, showcasing his parlor, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, and the parlor again for some reason.
How delightful.
This is one of the older homes on the block, yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest.
Oh.
Through extensive renovations, I have been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period and equipped with the amenities of any modern dwelling. It's like my dream. We walk past a door covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That's, my son's room. You know how the rebellious teenage years are. Onward, onward, there's more to see. We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish. Oh, he's got pinned butterflies. And this is the library. Sunlight streams in from floor-to-ceiling arched windows. The walls are lined with packed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. Damien is clearly proud of this room. Let's look out the window. Oh, he likes that. I walk to the window and am greeted by a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac. Hey, I can see Craig on his lawn. He's doing push-ups with his daughters on his back. Damn. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. Damn! Did you know that that the Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly out of full-length windows? I don't know if that's true. Wait, really? No, but Victorians did appreciate telling a good joke. I like that they're kind of making, making a joke out of his obsession with Victorian stuff, because that was one thing. I was excited when I saw there was, like, a goth dad character for this game, but, after being introduced with him, I was worried he was going to be like this one-note, like super one-dimensional character of like, oh, he's like obsessed with the Victorian era, like all goths are, because personally I'm not really into Victorian stuff. Like, I think it's pretty and whatever, but it's like I don't try to live my life by it like a lot of people seem to think that goths do. I don't know. I'm gonna check out your butterflies, because, like, I'm super excited that you're into that, too. I walk up to the glass display of pinned bugs on the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs. I pinned them all myself. Maybe I could show you how sometime. I'm concerned I would stick the pin right through my finger. Oh, it's really not that hard. The Pinner's Gambit. That's a thing? No. Alright, let's check out a book. You know, Lee, in the Victorian era, there was some controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought the more tawdry novels would encourage youths into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from work and school. I pull out a book at random and examine the worn cover. Opening it, I turn to a random page and read aloud. Naruto struggled against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looked up at Sasuke. Sasuke smirked, unbuttoning his ninja pants. Okay, I think that's enough. Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. That's a rare book from my private collection. You have any Dragon Age fanfic? I like those. Okay, I'm already in love with Damien. Like, we're gonna get married. We're gonna move into his cool house. It's, like, determined. It's decided. Please, will you join me for tea? I follow Damien to his sitting room, where finger foods have already been set out upon a beautiful tiered silver tray. I take a seat on one of the high-backed chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. I can't believe we're having high tea. I never thought I'd get to do this. Damien smiles to himself. What?
Oh.
It's a common misconception that high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, when in fact the high refers to both the later time of the day that the working class had to enjoy tea and the height of the tables at which they're served. Oh. My dear friend, we're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. Aww. I do really like your home. Or should I compliment your cape? Because your cape is really cool too. He probably wouldn't like that. Because I don't think it's a cape. It's like a cloak or something. Your home is really impressive. Whoa, he did like that. Eggplants galore. It seems like you've really put a lot of work into this place. Thank you. No one's ever complimented my home before. Aww. Hell, I can barely get matching salt and pepper shakers in my place, and look at what you've done. I'm kind of jealous. That's very generous of you to say. What got you so interested in goth stuff? Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you into the city? Sorry? Did you guys see a marching band? I'm afraid I don't understand. You're serious? Of course. But it's, you know, the song. Amanda made me listen to it. Seriously? I'd love to see a marching band. Oh my god, he's a precious cinnamon bun. Alright, Damien, wait here. I'm gonna go get my stuff, and I'm gonna move into your manor. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion. What started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermied animals grew into a sort of obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and culture of those who came before us, I think. Damn, right on. It's like, me too. Why not go all the way? I like not dying when I catch a cold. Preach, brother. He takes a sip of tea. I can acknowledge that there were many very terrible things about the Victorian era, and try to live a life that strictly aligns to those ideals would be admittedly horrid. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws and love it all the same. Wow, this is awesome. Like I said, this is that whole, like, Victorian obsession thing I was worried about, but they've actually, like, gone very deep with it, and yeah, there's, like, a lot of depth and perception there that I wasn't expecting, and I'm quite enjoying it. Tell me, Lee, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do, but I don't know if I care about anything the way you care about this stuff.
Oh.
Well, I'd love to hear about your interests. Hearing someone talk about the things they're passionate about is intriguing and, quite honestly, rather attractive. I agree. Please, do tell me about your hobbies. Quick, sound sophisticated. I like watching soap making videos on the internet. Love me some word jumbles. I learned how to juggle once. That's definitely not me. I no matter how hard I've tried, I've never been able to juggle. I do like word jumbles and puzzles and things. Oh, good, he likes that. The written word fascinates me. We spend so much time using words, you know, and I think people would appreciate them more if they had to unjumble them. It's poetic, really. Oh, so you're a writer. In a sense. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches.
Oh.
Come, I have one more thing to show you. Whoa. Very pretty. Okay, now I'm seriously moving in. I really want, like, a walking around garden. Damien takes me around the back of his home where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscaped rows. A small stone path weaves through it, and butterflies flit lazily through the air. My garden. It's beautiful. Thank you. Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is symbolic of different feelings. Even more interesting is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plants it was paired with. One had to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affected the message. Wow, so much pressure. Damien leans down and plucks a gorgeous bright orange flower off of a vine. Lilium bulbiferum, the orange lily. What do you think this one means? My loins are ablaze. Thou art the tightest. What does that even mean? 3 cheers for sweet revenge. That's the only one that sounds like any kind of legitimate apt answer. Oh. The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. Wow, really? Well, and that's precisely why floral arrangement is so challenging. What's your favorite type of flower? I don't really like any of these a whole lot, but I'll say snapdragons. They're pretty. Because they're cute, and you can do that thing where you squeeze them so it looks like they're talking. What a lovely choice. I'll have to remember that when I put together a bouquet for you. Aww! Damien! Like, if I were seriously on a date with this person right now, I think I would, just drop down to my knees and propose to them right now. He would put together a bouquet for me? Nobody's ever given me a bouquet before. Aww. I follow Damien down the footpath and admire more of his beautiful flowers. Suddenly, a phone rings. Oh, Lee, will you excuse me? I must take this. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket. I'm a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. Go for it. Damien smiles and walks back to the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavily perfumed air. What a lovely yard. This makes me wish I had put a little more effort into the garden that Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew to the size of cherry tomatoes and then immediately died. Sounds like my gardening experience. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle. Oh. Fits that garg. Oh god. Okay. Wrongo. Oh, okay. I get it. No, I thought... Oh, I see. Damn it. What am I doing wrong? Oh my god. Does it go? No. Well, that's the head. Oh, is it upside down? Oh. No wonder. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. Yay! Wow, I got that done by the skin of my teeth. Whew, that was a close one. Uh-oh, here comes Damien. He looks upset. Lee, my sincerest apologies to have kept you waiting. There's an urgent matter I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problem, dude. Everything alright? Damien worries the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything is perfectly fine, but it's Lucian. What's wrong? He appears to have, well, his teacher needs me to come to the school, post-haste. Do you need help? Oh no, you don't have to. Let me come with you. Us dads gotta stick together. You're right. This is one of Lucian's more elaborate stunts. I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Let's go. Hi, hot teacher dad. Damien and I walk into the school and are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo.
I don't know.
Hey, Damien. You're here in record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Wow, whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time to the my kids are in trouble rodeo. What is it this time? This, Damien, you have to see to believe. Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through the busy corridors of the school. We pass by several classes in session, and I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into a small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. Watch your step. I can hear faint voices drifting up from the basement, and they don't sound happy. As I'm led into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an angsty middle schooler. At least I had enough sense to stay out of the creepy basements. We find another teacher in a boiler room tucked away in the back of this basement. With him are Lucian and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucian has a bloody nose. Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime and see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around. What happened here? Ernest punched me. Lucian tried to kill me.
What?
The room falls silent. I was not trying to kill you, dumbass. I was just trying to build a brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was wine down here. You tricked me. Oh my god, was he replicating... was he replicating Cask of Amontillado? Oh... That's like my favorite Edgar Allan Poe story, too. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a second. Lucian, did you try to Cask of Amontillado Ernest? I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turned to Damien and whispered to him, What's Cask of Amontillado? It's a classic Edgar Allan Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk, lures him down into his cellar with the promise of wine and of a fine vintage, then buries him alive behind a brick wall. It's a lovely story. So wait, Lucian, you tried to do that to him? I was curious to see how it would work. I wasn't actually going to leave him there. What was the thought process here? That Ernest was just going to sit still while you slowly built a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot, but then he realized that I had lied to him about the wine. And you were cackling maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. Ernest, 20 minutes? Dad.
Sweet manchego.
It took you 20 minutes? Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on the cask of Amontillado, and it took you 20 minutes to realize Lucian was leading you into an elaborate ruse? Did you even read the story? I read the first 5 pages and then read the review of the movie.
Sweet manchego.
It's only 5 pages long, and there is no movie. Yeah, you're right. I paid Lucian to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me, so when you think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both have their heads in their hands. You guys are always telling me to engage in the literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filing this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. Ernest and Lucian high five. The teacher starts to stomp up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your mediation. We all head upstairs and out of the school in tense silence. Lucian, Damien, and I all pile into my car, and I begin to drive home. Lucian immediately puts his hood up and stares out the window angrily. I'm not gonna go to therapy again. I know, son. It's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. But I care about you, and I can see that you're struggling. So if you do decide that you would like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Maybe you can spend the next week looking for a summer job, I know how much you want your own car. I can't believe Damien's keeping his cool. I'm impressed. Fine. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Lucian continues staring out of the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucian hops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside. I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's alright. And all things considered, Lucian's bricklaying was pretty good, so there's that. There's your silver lining. There is that, yes. I admired how you handled that. You were a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him, and I don't think yelling at him would do either of us any favors. It rarely does. You're a good dad. Whoa. See you around soon? It would be my honor and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy. I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Yo. What you watching? Tiny House Hunting Brothers Extreme Edition. Ugh, I hate this show. The couple on screen bickers back and forth while standing in an extremely tiny house made out of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watch them with bemused expressions, both of their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I wanted a 2-bed, 2-bath, shabby chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But honey, the outhouse is only 20 yards away, and it's not that bad. I am not pooping outside, Greg! Why don't they just get a regular-sized house? I don't know. How'd the afternoon tea go? It got strange. We had to go to the school to pick up Lucian, since he lured Ernest down to the cellar with a promise of a fine vintage, and then tried to brick him into the wall, right? How did you know that? Has everyone read the story except for me? Lucian live-streamed the entire thing. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise, it was a fun day. That Damien guy's a character, but he's really good company, and a surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too. Oh ho ho. Oh. Ooh, that's...
Wow. My stars, this... Never in a million moons have I had a date such as exquisite as this one.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so I got the S rank. That's very nice. So yeah, that was my date with Damien. I think I'm gonna end the episode here before it gets too long, but let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, if you want my next episode to be the next date with Damien, or if you want me to date someone else, like go on a date with Matt, whatever. I'm personally pretty in love with Damien at this point. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't yet and you'd like to, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you on the next Otome Tuesday. Bye guys!